Title: 5 Stoic Role Models Who Changed History. Introduction. In a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism shines like a beacon of calm clarity. Rooted in discipline, virtue, and emotional resilience, Stoicism has guided warriors, emperors, and thinkers alike. But this philosophy isn't just a collection of ideas, it's a lived experience embodied by remarkable individuals who stood tall in the face of adversity. These men didn't just preach Stoicism, they lived it, and in doing so, shaped the course of human history. This is the story of 5 Stoic role models whose lives continue to inspire courage, strength, and wisdom across the centuries. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king. Imagine ruling the Roman Empire, the most powerful empire on earth, while confronting plagues, wars, and personal tragedy. Marcus Aurelius did exactly that. But unlike many rulers, he didn't allow power to corrupt his soul. Instead, he turned inward, using Stoic philosophy as both shield and compass. His personal journal, known today as Meditations, was never intended for public view. It is a deeply intimate record of his thoughts, reminders, and reflections on how to live virtuously despite overwhelming pressure. He wrote about kindness, self-control, and accepting what life brings, even suffering with equanimity. What made Marcus a Stoic role model wasn't just his writings, but his action. He faced betrayal by close friends, loss of children, and the demands of war, all while striving to uphold justice, humility, and reason. He taught us that true power lies not in conquering others, but in mastering oneself. 2. Epictetus, from slave to sage. Born into slavery and crippled by a cruel master, Epictetus had every reason to be bitter. But instead of succumbing to despair, he turned his suffering into strength. When he finally gained his freedom, he devoted his life to teaching the core tenets of Stoicism. Control what you can, accept what you cannot, and live with purpose. Epictetus didn't write his own teachings down. His student Arrian did. Through these records, we see the mind of a man who believed that true freedom is internal. According to Epictetus, no one can hurt you unless you allow them to. He emphasized responsibility, courage, and the power of choice. His influence reached far and wide, even inspiring modern thinkers and leaders. The strength of his voice, forged in suffering, reminds us that dignity, wisdom, and inner peace are accessible to anyone, no matter their background. 3. Seneca, the advisor in the storm. Lucius Annaeus, Seneca was many things: playwright, philosopher, and advisor to the volatile Emperor Nero. Walking a dangerous political tightrope, he tried to instill Stoic principles in one of Rome's most erratic leaders. Seneca's essays and letters are filled with practical advice on handling wealth, anger, grief, and mortality. His writing style is vivid, honest, and often poetic. He reminds readers that life is short, and we must use our time wisely, a message that feels even more urgent in our modern, distracted age. Despite his proximity to power, Seneca lived modestly and often spoke against greed and luxury. He knew the dangers of excess and the importance of inner balance. His ultimate Stoic test came when Nero ordered his suicide. Seneca accepted his fate with remarkable calm, offering final words of wisdom to his friends before opening his veins in a composed farewell to life. Cato the Younger, the unyielding patriot. Cato was a Roman senator and fierce defender of the Republic during its last days. A man of unshakable integrity, Cato refused to compromise his principles, even when it cost him everything. He lived simply, dressed plainly, and walked among common soldiers rather than indulging in luxury. In the Senate, he stood fearlessly against corruption and tyranny, opposing Julius Caesar's rise to power. For Cato, virtue was not negotiable. When the Republic finally fell, and he faced capture, Cato chose death over submission. He saw it not as an act of despair, but of defiance, a final assertion of freedom. To this day, his name is invoked as a symbol of moral courage and resistance to oppression. His life is a testament to the Stoic ideal of living and dying in accordance with one's principles. So, Nelson Mandela, a modern Stoic. Though not a classical Stoic, Nelson Mandela lived the essence of Stoic philosophy during one of the most turbulent periods in modern history. Imprisoned for 27 years, he endured unimaginable hardship with grace and resilience. In his writings and interviews, Mandela often spoke of self-discipline, forgiveness, and the necessity of controlling one's emotion. He emerged from prison not bitter, but calm and focused, leading South Africa into a new era of reconciliation and democracy. Mandela's life proves that Stoicism is not bound by time or culture. It is a universal path of strength through adversity, of leadership through inner peace. His journey from prisoner to president echoes the Stoic truth that while we may not control all events, we can always control our response to them. Conclusion: the timeless echo of Stoic wisdom. The 5 individuals above came from vastly different worlds: emperors, slaves, rebels, advisors, and modern leaders. Yet they all shared a common thread, a commitment to living with virtue, wisdom, and courage in the face of suffering. Their stories are more than history lessons, they are emotional touchstones, reminders that we too can rise above our circumstances. In an age of noise, distraction, and fear, the Stoic path invites us to return to what is essential. These role models don't ask us to be perfect. They ask us to strive, to endure, and to grow. Their legacy lives on in every person who seeks clarity in confusion, peace in turmoil, and purpose in pain. Will you take up the Stoic challenge and walk the path they lit for us? The world needs more Stoics. Perhaps it starts with you. If you found this video content valuable, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment below to share your thoughts and support the message.